Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Can you guys let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me clearly? Let's get a quick mic check here before we start. Markets opening up in actually it's markets open already. Oh geez, lost track of time. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me clearly. Are we good, chat? Are we good? Are we good? Morning, Prath. Morning, Kevin. All right, let's go. So today is Monday, July 20th. Nothing much on the calendar, guys. On the economic calendar, pretty empty, right? Uh, ADP weekly employment change on Tuesday. Nothing much today. Unemployment claims on Thursday. That might be that could introduce some volatility in the market, but that's and then flash manufacturing PMI, but no red folders for the week, right? So for today, pay attention to this, guys. Very important. So this is a weekly profile that you can see on the left side of the chart right here. Can you guys see this? That is a low volume node. I marked it here as a low volume node, and as you can see in Friday's price action, you got some rejection there, and then right now we're currently testing that. Right. I was hoping that we could get this move during the morning session, but it seems like we're starting to fill that. But for today's session, right, if we do start to reclaim this low volume node, right, into above the value area high, which is right around that 7554 to 7560, I'm interested in playing the continuation to the upside, right? If we see some price acceptance here, targeting right around that 7580 to 7590 before the supply zone, with a final target at this 7610 to 7615. But if we do start to get some rejections here at this low volume node, one thing to keep an eye on is this green zone that I marked. It's between 7512 to 7520. As long as price can hold and sustain value above, I'm interested in playing this to the upside, right? Again, looking to target this low volume node here. So, but if we start to lose this 7520 to 7512, be careful. We might come down and revisit this demand zone here. So if you look at the 30-minute time frame, or even on a larger higher time frame, right, this demand zone at 7470 to 7480, as you can see, it's been acting as a support, right, every time we test it. So we broke out of this zone, out of this consolidation back in June 20th to 26th, broke right above it, right, retested, supported, came up, came down again, retested, supported. So multiple touches. We're on a higher time frame. We're still in a uptrend, right? But again, in a so you got this consolidation. You got out of that zone. You're in the consolidation phase. You're at the bottom of this consolidation. So be careful in trying to short this, right? I know we saw some continuation in Friday's price action, and we broke out of this lower range, but we're still holding, right? So I wouldn't initiate a short near this demand zone unless we start breaking below it. Okay, this is a little loud. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be paying attention here today. For the Nasdaq, right? For the Nasdaq, same thing. You got that value area low at 29,200 to 29,267. Wouldn't want to initiate along there, right? Just be careful because that could be an area of resistance. So we might see some rejections there. But again, keep an eye on this 29,040 to 29,082. That's your Thursday's low, right? That is your Friday's resistance. Okay, again, Thursday's low and Friday's resistance. And right now you're breaking right above it. So if if we see some bullish price action here, or I'm looking for a bullish continuation as long as we hold this level here. You can have your psychological level at 29,000, right? As long as we hold right above it, I think we can see some continuation to the upside here, targeting this value area low. And if we start to reclaim this value area low, I don't see why we can't test the low. I think it was a 715, right? July 15th lows, which is 29,400. Be patient today. Um, Again, I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on the market generated levels and kind of go from there. It is Monday. Try to be patient. Try not to be trigger happy. I know we had a weekend, so now you're kind of like, hey, I want to press the buy button, press the sell button. Just stay patient here. Wait for price to give you confirmation and give you an entry here. So that's what I'm gonna be watching out for today. Good luck. Good luck. Good morning. Good morning. Is the music still loud? Hopefully it's not. Let's put in the. We're ready. It's good now. Good. 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 Some very aggressive buyers here now within this low volume node. We're starting to fill that. So remember the low volume node rule, right? If you want to see a bullish price action, you want to see price accepting inside this low volume node where price is building, right? We're seeing volume consolidation here. That to me is a price exception, and I think we'll see some more upside here. 6 minutes left until the 15-minute orb is formed. How's everyone's weekend so far? Let's see. Where is my... I'm having issues here. Can you guys see this heat map when I switch through? Could someone confirm? I can see it on I mean, I can't see it on my side, but can you guys see that? I just switched through a different window. Hope you guys can see it. Nasdaq, we're starting to see some large trades here, right around that 29,140. Again, it's in a no man's zone for me. Still early, right? But we're starting to see so aggressive buyers here, aggressive buyers, aggressive buyers, aggressive buyers, and we're starting to top here, right? We're starting to top here right around that 7551, which is the top of that low volume node. And then sellers are starting to step in, but again, a little slow of a price action. You're also starting to see, this light blue area here where passive limit sells are starting to come in. Again, they're limit orders, right? They're not filled yet, but things are starting to stack here, right above the price. So let's see how this develops. Morning, Pranav. The footprint, not really seeing much currently. But we need to keep an eye on the Nasdaq here. Overnight high is right around that 29, let's call it 29,110. And I want to see how price will react inside this value area low from last week. Morning, Xenos. Again, not a lot of economic events for today. At least red folders. Less than 30 seconds until the 15-minute orb is formed. We have about 28 people watching here right now, which I appreciate. Thank you guys for tuning in. But if you guys haven't done so already, please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Nasdaq approaching the value area low zone. Keep an eye on that. Again, check the heat map. You see this, right? Same thing, testing that 7550. Aggressive buyers are starting to step in, but guess what? Getting slammed down. And then sellers starts to come in. But I need to see some type of, move away from this zone. But we're starting to see these aggressive sellers coming in after getting rejected at the 7550. And if you look at our chart, right? See this blue circles there? Aggressive buys, aggressive buys, aggressive buys, aggressive buys, followed by an aggressive seller. We need to see some type of reaction here now. We need to see a push down, right? Where we look for that retest to play the continuation to either side. For in this case, let's see. I mean, looking a little bearish, right? This is potentially trap buyers at the top, at the highs here, followed by an aggressive seller. So we need this seller here that happened right around that 7546 to really start to push this price down. And then we'll look for that retest. Morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Also, NASDAQ, right? Kind of tested the bottom of that value area low, which is sitting at 29,200, and you're getting a little bit of rejection there as well. You can also see here during the pre-market, right? Aggressive buyers at this level around that 7540, right? That's where you kind of got that rejection as well. So is this level going to start acting as a support, right? If we break below 7540, I'm kind of interested in playing the short side. I want to see some, I want to see an aggressive break below 7540, and then I'll look for that retracement to follow this trend to the downside, and I'll look to target 7525 to 7521st. But if you start breaking 7525 to 7520, 7512 is going to be your final target. I do not want to initiate new short position inside this green zone. I already went over this during our pre-market. I do not want to initiate a short here. I want to initiate a short inside this low volume node, or at least near here, because that's where you're, that's a high probability that price may retrace down here. If we don't get the short opportunity here and we test the 7520, 7512, this is also an area where I'll look to play the upside, right? I'll play along here. But if you start breaking below 7512, I might look for another short as well. So again, marked out the bearish bias area, bullish bias area. It's up to you whether you want to initiate positions within those areas. Again, not financial advice. Yeah, we filled that we filled that gap too. 1 ES. This might be a potential trap buyer here at 7542. Keeping an eye here. There's an aggressive buyer there at 7542, which you're currently getting a rejection. There you go. They're getting a push down now. Testing prior high level at 7539. Did you guys see that 7542 buyer that got stuck? Here it is on the heat map visual. Right? See the 7542 buyer? You push down, got trapped, right? And then you're getting the push down now. And followed by aggressive seller. I think that was the entry there at 7542. Kind of missed that. Dang it. That was it, guys. I think that 7542. I think that was our entry. Now you're down about 10 points instantly. You entered at 7540. Nice. VWAP is at 7525. So expect some type of reaction there. Maybe you get a little bit of a bounce for a retracement. That was kind of fast of a rejection or a push down there. Nasdaq approaching prior high level now. You're kind of trading right below it. Also right below the opening price. Once we start trading right around this 7520 to 7512, if you are in a short, okay, try to either manage your position, and I would not recommend initiating a new short inside the zone. Okay? You're also kind of forming a low volume node intraday here now between 7532 to 7534. So right here, let me mark it for you guys. This is going to be a good area for me to kind of use either as a rejection or a target point if I want to play long. If I want to play short, I would like price to kind of push down to 7520 maybe, right? A little bit of retracement into that 7532. That's going to be my initiation for a short, targeting 7515 to 7512. Some liquidity below 7519 and 7516 there. Here's the heat map view. About 170 lots at 7519 and about 130 lots at 7516. I think we might try to fill those orders sitting there. The music's not too loud, guys, right? Here's a test of 7520. Keep an eye on this. Here's the NASDAQ doing. It's a really good rejection there off of that low volume no or value area low. Just keep an eye on this zone and this zone here. Seven 520 tapped. It's aggressive buyer there too at the low 7519. I'm not against in playing a scalp long here as well. If I see it. Targeting this low volume node here. Okay, a little bit of a bounce, but I'm not seeing strong reaction from buyers here. but it's at our area of interest, right, for a potential long here. So on the heat map, what you can see is, right, an aggressive seller here at the low, right around that 7519, right? This could be a potential seller that is, going to become trapped here. So we just need a strong move to the upside to consider that as a trap seller. And right now you got an aggressive buyer and then immediately got rejected. Still a bearish price action. Nasdaq is approaching that resistance from the overnight session, right? As you can see here, multiple touches there at the 28,960 to 28,940. That's where price kind of got rejected. And right now, what's price doing? You're retesting that zone and you're kind of getting a reaction there, right? What data fee rate? Rhythmic. So right now I'm trading on the Lucid, right? So I'm using Lucid. If you buy a challenge with them, you get it for free. But I also have my own Rhythmic data feed because I have a personal account that I trade. Good morning. Good morning. Levels, guys. Levels, right? Look at how levels are reacting. The one that we identified, right? 7520 reacting. We're bouncing there as we expected, right? If you were short, this is the area you would manage your trade. So now what are we waiting for? We're waiting for some type of retracement to see if sellers are still uh, they're still interested in taking this lower, right? And the area of interest that I'm looking at is going to be this low volume node here, which is also your 15-minute orb low and also your opening price. So that is your market generated levels in line with the low volume node and that's why it's our area of interest. Where I would start, like this trade is invalidated if we start reclaiming back above 7540. So I would like for price to really push up aggressively into that 7532 to 7534 where we could take a short entry. Now, 35 people watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Loving it. Morning, Nathan. Good morning, guys. Don't be shy to ask questions while we're not in the position yet. So feel free to ask questions or make comments or whatever. Let me know. I would really like to see an aggressive bounce here and then trap buyers at this 7532. I would like to see to play quick longs here. So for longs, again, I don't like going against the trend for a long, for a, positional trade, right? So if you're playing longs, I would just scalp it, right? So I would go for, instead of going for 8 to 10 to 12 to 15 points, I would only go for maybe 5 to 7 points. So what I would like to see is some type of absorption for a reversal trade, right? So right now, currently, you're seeing that. So it's clean. It looks clean on the heat map right here. So this potential trap seller, you got a little bit of a push, came down, retested that level and supported, right? And you got to push up there into that VWAP. This yellow line is VWAP. So what I would like to see, if I want to be long here, if I would like to see either absorption, or I want to see 7512 gets, we trade back below 7512 and immediately gets reclaimed, right? If an A plus setup that I'm looking for a potential long is a break below 7512, immediately reclaims back above 7520. That to me is a reversal pattern, right? And I would look for either trap sellers at these lows followed by an aggressive buyer, right? So you want to see red bubbles, right? And then right below, and then followed by an aggressive bubble, which is blue. And you would see clearly here on the footprint. Wasn't this a valid low volume node? Yeah, so low volume node, we talked about this during the before the pre-market, right? The low volume node was right here from last week that was created, 7540 to 7552. If you want to see, how we saw that level, just maybe rewind the video. See why I talked about that, and Nasdaq as well, right? The value area low. There wasn't any low volume node, but there was a value area low that that was rejected here as well from last week. Again, I would not initiate a short here. I think for me, the risk to reward is very, very low. Because then if you're going to initiate a short here on ES at 7520, where's your stop loss? Because a short trade is valid as long as you break above the 7540 or even this low volume node, right? So if you're going to try to get into a short position, I would look, for confirmation within this zone here between 7532 to 7540. For beginners, like I said, I've said this multiple times. For beginners, if you guys are just getting into, order flow, I do suggest, I highly, highly suggest looking into ES instead of the Nasdaq, right? Because ES moves cleanly, right? Absorptions, buyers becoming trapped, looking for those aggressive buyers, sellers are way easier to pinpoint or to locate compared to the Nasdaq. So start with ES, and then if you if you want to dabble into the Nasdaq, to the Nasdaq, go ahead. But I feel like start with ES first. No, just regular trading session, New York session. So from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. So look at the heat map here. Nothing has changed, right? Aggressive buyers, reject. Aggressive buyers, reject. Even on VWAP, aggressive buyers, right, could not push price higher. You want to see a reaction here. Don't just jump in just because you're seeing aggressive buyers or sellers. The trend is down. What are you looking for? Continuation to the downside. If you're looking for a reversal, you want to see aggressive sellers like this, right? And then price is not pushing down, right? So we have a reversal pattern and we have a continuation pattern. Look for those. More aggressive sellers at the low here on ES. Man, they're really stacking up. This is now a valid low volume node for the session. Okay. Let me just type it here so you guys know what low volume node. All right. So this is now a valid low volume node. As you can see, price pushed down, right? And price is trading away from that zone. So we could either use this as a target for a potential, for if we were like playing long, or a potential rejection if we do retest the zone. You can also see it visually here around that 7524, 7525, right? Delta buys, and look what price is doing. Could not break above, right? And now you're getting a follow through to the downside, and you're seeing sellers coming in as well. There's your 7512, right? We break right below it. Now I want to see a reclaim above 7520. If we can reclaim above 7520, we see some aggressive buyers. Very, very interested in playing this scalp long, targeting this low volume node here. Nasdaq also bouncing off of that over that 11, the bottom of that level, 28,940, right? That was your overnight session rejection resistance. For me to be bullish on the Nasdaq, I mean, man, I think you need to reclaim back above 29,000 for a start. Get above 29,000 and really above prior high and opening price. Watch the delta here, guys, around that 7512. I don't know if you guys can see that. Negative deltas. Sellers are trying, right? And could not make a new low. So watch this now. Watch the 7520. If we can reclaim that. We still have some liquidity below. Passive buyers right around 7504 to 7500. Not a big amount. 120 lots, right? Passive limit buys. And then right above, we have 7530 on ES, about 140 lots sitting. I'm eyeing along here, guys. Again, not any yet. You guys will see it on my screen if I do take an entry here. If sellers cannot make a new low here, I think we might see a retracement here to the upside. Again, just looking for a scalp. We're going against the trend here. Maybe we need one more swipe. We have about 38 people watching here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys haven't done so already, please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Appreciate it. We're growing, guys. We're growing. Love to see it. $20 likes, Needler. I think we've gotten 20 likes before. I think 25 to 30 likes would be a record. But I can't believe we have about 38 to 40 people watching here right now. I love it. Not gonna lie, I mean, I'm starting to enjoy the stream. It kind of helps me as well to to stop me from kind of over trading or getting into position too early, because I'm able to like kind of talk out loud with you guys on what I'm seeing, so it benefits me as well. No, thank you guys. Thank you. so you know, I remember the names. I remember the names of you know, the people that have been here with me since the beginning. I would not forget you guys. You guys are going to be considered my OGs. See, so one thing that I wanted to see was a 7-5-12 break, right? Where you immediately reclaim that 7-5-20 for me to play long, and look what happened, right? You got below that 7-5-12, push right up, and look what happened at the 7-5-20. Rejection. So this is a good confirmation here for us, right? If we want to play the long here. I think above 7-5-20 would be an area where we could play the scalp here. But for right now, I'm really not seeing anything currently that signals that, you know, we can play the reversal here. I mean, at first, earlier, like 5 minutes ago, right, those sellers that was sitting here, that was trying to push the price down, that was kind of a, you know, that was kind of a, what I was looking for, right? Price could not break the low. I was hoping for a, you know, a quick pump, a quick push, but we didn't get that. Wow, 24 likes. That's crazy. That's a new record. Let's go. Are you guys seeing anything else other than what I'm seeing? Because I'm not. Are you guys seeing it long here? I kind of need to wait. I need a confirmation here. Yeah. Your buy is short. Yeah, it's I am as well. I am short bias, but that doesn't mean that I can't play the long side here for scalp, right? But I am short bias as long as this 7-5-40 to 7-5-3-2 act as a resistance. The thing is, I just can't play the short inside the zone. I just can't. This is a demand zone for me. This is where price can potentially bounce. So if I'm gonna short, it's gonna be right here. It's gonna be around that 7-5-3-2 to 7-5-40. Nasdaq is bouncing off previous day high. Let's look. Previous day high or overnight high? Because previous day high, which is Friday, is at 29.50. If you're talking about overnight, it's going to be even the overnight, right? Overnight is like 29.100. Overnight plus linear session. Okay. This is a valid low volume node, right around that 29.84 to 29.116, right? This is a low volume node here, and this is a low volume node here. How do you put the delta on the right like that? There's videos out there, but this is basically, if you look at the volume imprint under study, right? And then it's summary profile. So the type, you use delta, and you put on the right side, and in mine set at 30 minutes. So this refreshes every 30 minutes. Again, here on the heat map, guys, right? So We're trying here. Buyers are trying here. Right at that 7512 to 7515 area. They're really trying here. So let's keep an eye on that. Less than 2 minutes until the IB is formed, the initial balance. It's Motivewave. So if you look at, uh, so guys, for the new guys, look at the comment below or look at the description for the stream. You'll see what I use, the strategy I use, the platform I use, and all that. So you get a lot of information there. So trading platform is Motivewave. Initial balance. So initial balance usually forms in the first hour. That's basically like kind of like orb, right? The 15-minute orb, the 30-minute orb. That's basically it. So you're just marking the high and the low on that first hour, and typically after that initial balance closes, right, or formed, you usually see some type of volatility after that. Chat is lively today. I love it. All right, here's 7520. Let's see if we can get some action here. Testing 7520. Can we find acceptance? VWAP is at 7524. Nasdaq is also approaching the opening price and the prior high, which is right around that 2950. So that's kind of in line, right? So if Nasdaq is showing relative strength compared to ES, if Nasdaq can reclaim above 2950, right, and even 2950, so that's above the opening price and above the prior high, that's our confluence, right? If 7520 on ES can also be reclaimed. Again, if I'm playing this long, it's going to be a quick scalp here. Look at Nasdaq here, guys. Prior high got rejected. Aggressive buyers stepped in there as well and got rejected. Right? Look at the visual here, guys. Look at the right side. Prior high, opening price, wicked into that level, and look at those blue bubbles there. Aggressive buyers came in, and got rejected. Now let's see if this 29K can hold. If this 29K can hold, I think we can break above that level. Session view up as well on NASDAQ. Let me see. View up. Regular session. Oh yeah, that's right. Thanks for calling that out, Pratt. Yep, exactly what Pratt said. That's also your view up. Multiple confluences there, right? If you wanted to play that short side there. Watch the 29K. Do you guys want to see the VWAP on ES here on the chart or no? Is it too many lines? Let me know because my VWAP shows on the heat map. So let me know if you guys want to see it because that's also rejecting on ES. You have it on yours, okay? Because I don't want to put a lot of lines on the chart. For me, it's kind of overstimulating, to be honest. Oh yes, I use VWAP all the time, Leah. I use VWAP all the time. It's on my chart. It's just on a different chart here. So the question here now, are these buyers here earlier on ES, are they going to start defending here, right? You got one bounce there, 7-second bounce here. Are they going to start defending this? NASDAQ holding the 29K. It's just low volume. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I'm back. Uh, Check the heat map, guys. 7520. There's a passive limit sell there at 500 lots. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big order there. Sitting at 7520, about 500 lots. Yeah, you can see on my screen. Look at it. Right. Again, limit sell. That means it hasn't been filled yet. It's just sitting there. Watching if they're gonna pull that order or is that gonna get filled, and watch for a reaction. That 7520 is also at your value area low. Again, this is a developing value area low. This will change as as time goes. But that's also our level, right? That 7520. So this is somewhat an important level for us. So just viewing the heat map right now, I want to let you see it and how how price react at that level, and then we'll switch back to the charts, candlestick charts. That's the question. Well, they did. Look, they removed it. You jinxed it, Chirag. Literally, as soon as you said it, they removed it. Chirag jinxed it. Did they move it? No, they didn't move it. All right, let's back to the charts here. So I haven't taken a trade yet. It's been an hour so far. Again, I'm just here to make commentaries, and I'll always share if I'm entering the trades or looking for a setup. But if your setup presents itself, don't let me deter you from getting into your position. Right? If the setup is there for you, take it. Just make sure you're managing your risk. But for me, I'm really not seeing anything right now. The only proper or the setup that that kind of missed was at this level here, which I mentioned earlier, right? And then that 7542 area. That could have been an entry that I talked about, but missed it. So now I'm just sitting on my hands. Just need to see how this 7520. I need to see some a reclaim of that level. Look at this on the heat map. So now we're starting to see some passive sellers there. 7522, 7520. And price is kind of rejecting right now. I mean, this is a valid short, right? That 7520 to 7522. I mean, that's where your VWAP is. That's where your point of control, currently developing point of control, right? Aggressive buys right there. Could not break, could not make a new high. I could just say what is previous for which one, ES or NASDAQ? For ES, previous week's value area high is 7620. Previous value area low is 7555. Give me one second, guys. Let me see if there's any other levels that we need to keep an eye on. There's nothing really. The closing price on Friday acted as support in the overnight session. As you can see here. But and our demand zone is at 7470 to 7480. Overnight low is 7482. Again, before you guys leave, or before I leave, just understand this, right? This is the setup that I'm looking at. You can either put an alert on your chart, right? So then when it hits it, that's when you look. 7532, right, to 7540. This is kind of my A plus setup for today. I would like price to not take out 7500. I would like it to kind of find, a support here and test that 7532 to 7540. This area is going to be my uh, short entry. So keep an eye on that. It might present itself in the afternoon session. Ooh, see some reaction here. Look at the heat map, guys. See some reaction here. 7515. 7515. Keep an eye on that. You can see it on the heat map, on the footprint as well, right? Look at this. 701. Negative delta. More at 7521. Negative delta there. 679. as price is moving up. I'm keeping quiet right now because I'm focusing up. Give me 1 second. More aggressive sellers there stepping in at 75.14. You getting a push down here now? Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, Shirag. If sellers can't make a new low here, this could be a potential squeeze to the upside. So watching how watching the tape right now. I'm looking for a potential reversal here if they can't make a new low. Again, if you're playing the short side here, it's going to be right around that 7520, 7522, right? That's where prices, been rejecting there. Um, but again, I'm looking for a reversal here if we cannot make a new low. I'm paying very close attention to the tape. pointed out these aggressive sellers here at 7520, 7515, right? $200 lots, buy side order there at 7511, but again, just not seeing any type of continuation there. Buyers are attempting here. Look at the footprint. They're trying here at 7513. And rejected. We just made a new low here on ES. NASDAQ as well. Next level for the NASDAQ is going to be that 28,850 to 28,860. I think we're going to see again today at the 7th. Yeah, we might not. We might not. Yeah, so the next valid short, like we talked about, right? That's 7520 to 7522. That's still going to be my main level for a potential long here. I was planning on it, if I saw, an aggressive seller here, I was planning on starting a small position right around this 7510 to 7512, right? And then adding into it if we break above 7520, but didn't see anything there at 7512. The next level for ES is 7494, which is your closing price, Friday's closing price. And then right below that, again, our demand zone, which is where your prior low and your overnight low is sitting as well. So I might adjust this 7520, 75. Yeah, I'm going to adjust this level, guys. I'm going to remove this zone here. And then I'm going to put the 7520, the 7522. It's going to be your supply area. I don't know, am I wrong? in having a uh, bullish bias within the like at these lows, or should I be looking for an aggressive short here? You know, at this 7520 rejections. That's one thing that I'm kind of reassessing right now. That maybe I shouldn't be too bullish bias within the zone, right? And try to short when we got that confirmation at 7520. I was kind of marrying. This is kind of an example of me marrying this 7532 7540 level, right, for a short entry. That's why I was looking for a potential bounce. Just speaking out loud here. Not to your short once we pass the 92 area, which is the overnight low or support zone there. Where was your entry? Was your entry at 7520? To MES at 540s. Wow, that's a really good entry. Aggressive sellers here at the 7501s. Are they going to get absorbed here? Here on the Heatmap, as you can see, 300 lots, 200 lots, right at that 7502. We're getting a reaction, right? We're getting a little bit of a push. This previous pivot low is 7506, right? This area here. Just you're kind of finding support here now on that 7502. I might take an early entry here. I'm gonna take an early entry here. I'm long at 7505. Stop loss is gonna be below 7500. I'm gonna look to add into this if we can reclaim back above 7512 to 7515, anticipating a break above 7520. Again, early entry. We don't have the confirmation yet here. Need to see a break above 7512 to 7515. I might look to add into that. Up about 4 points here. Thanks, Leo. Again, this is just a scalp, right? If you guys are in this trade with me, again, not financial advice. When I'm scalping, I'm usually going for 5 to 7 points. Um, but right now, we're up about 7 points here. I want to see if this 75.12 to 75.15 can break. If this doesn't break, I think we might see some rejections here. Watching this 75.13 to 75.15. Nasdaq also needs to see if this bullish price action needs to continue. We need to get above 28,960s. Getting a little bit of rejection there at that level that we talked about, right? That 75.12. Again, if price is going to reject, that will be the first area that it would reject. And if you're bullish, that's the area that you want to reclaim. Let me just mark it on the chart here. Getting a rejection here now. Retesting our area, our entry point. Currently a break even. Might get stopped out here. We retested that same area and kind of bouncing right off of that absorption there. But again, you need to get above that 75.12, 75.15, or else this has still, the pressure to the downside is still there. Back to break even. I should follow my advice, right? Just whenever I'm scalping, I should just go for that 5 to 7 points. It was presented, did not take it. I was looking for a break above that 75.12. I would like this next push here to really break above that 75.12. Come on, Bulls. Let's put that seller at the lows in pain. Let's get above 75.12 and then push to 75.20. Up above 5 points here now. Again, if the 75.12 rejects, I might get out. Just take a quick scalp. Take my 5 points here. The thing is, this has a potential to really squeeze through. Like, am I willing to put that much risk, right? Below that 7,500 for a potential 15. There you go. We're up about 10 points here, guys. Touch the 75.15. Now we need to see a 75.20 break. If we can get that, I think we can get some move here, guys. So let's see. This is 10 points, so make sure you guys are managing your position. Whether you want to move your stop loss, take partial profits, whatever the case may be. Your VWAP is right around that 7521, 7522. Again, your confirmation is going to be the break above 7520. If you can break that 7520, I'm really looking for a 7530 to 7532 target, right? My final target there. There you go. We're up about, what is that? 13 points? Our entry is 7505 here. Let's see. Are we going to reject there at 7520 or are we going to, I'm going to move my stop loss to break above break even here now. So this trade is free, right? No matter what happens, I will be either break even or slightly green. You get a little bit of a passive seller here on the heat map, right? At this zone. We're on that 7518. Not a big amount. 80 lots, 40 lots, 50 lots. So let's see here. And we have some sitting at 7512. If 7512 breaks, I'm gonna get out. Here's the test of that zone, right? If this breaks again, I'm gonna get out. Currently finding support there at 7512. Again, on this next push, guys, we need to see a break above 75.20. If this doesn't break 75.20, we might see a new low for today. Back above 10 points here. You have one more push, buyers, or no? How you guys doing? Are you guys still in this position with me? Are you guys, did you guys close out? Did you guys participate? Did you guys sit in the sideline? What's everyone doing? Break even on the buy? Still short? Yeah, no reason for you to get out of the short, to be honest. Your entry is at 7540. I mean, maybe stop loss above 7522, 7520, but you're in a good position or good entry. Got cooked on that push lower. Just watching was short 12 at 1050. At 1050. Oh, nice. Off of that 7513. Got cooked on we'll talk about it in a little bit, Nathan. Give me one second because I'm still in this position. Someone's trying to spoof at 7511. They just moved the order. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know, Harry. Give me 1 second here. I'll explain it. Here's the next push. We need to push here, or else we're gonna get. We might revisit the low day today. Back above 10 points. You gotta push through, bulls. There's a new 15-minute candle as well. No, I didn't take anything off. You can see everything, all my position here, Christine, on my chart. Right, it says right here. This is my limit order, right? And then you can also see the position right. Let me just square it up right here. That's my trading panel. So I'm still in full position. But I also trade options, right? With that one, I actually got into a full position and I started trimming. I still have 2 contracts options left. Yeah, I'm trying to be as transparent as I can. Like, I'm not trying to hide anything with the entries. So if I say I'm in, you'll be able to see it on the screen. Like how many contracts I got and all that. Because I see a lot of traders or influencers that are saying I'm in or I'm out. and then they don't show their entry. And then next thing you know, they're gonna say, "Oh, I'm out. I'm out already. I got out of break even, or I took profits already." I try to be as transparent as I can, just to help you guys, understand um, how I'm executing the trade. Nathan, I don't like talking about numbers. I really don't like talking about numbers. But I hit my target for today for my options. Yeah, this is on my prop account, but I'm also trading. I have my live account in another screen that I'm executing as well. Here we go, guys. Let's see the 7520. If we can break the 7520, I really think we can get a little bit of a squeeze here. Yeah, if you guys are following me on Twitter, right? I used to not stream. I see a lot of you guys wanted me to stream. This is why I did it. So if you guys review all the the trades that I took before I streamed, right? Just the review, watch that or read those posts that I did and then compare it to how I'm executing now. I bet you 90% of the time, not 100%, that I'm executing the same way. Like it's not BS, right? When I'm taking the entry, like on the entries, it's the same setup that I'm taking. I'm not changing anything, or I didn't change anything. Like my trading summary post or my review, it's the same way I'm executing. All right, we're getting a little bit of rejection here at the 75.20. I'm still holding it. I might stop out here, to be honest, soon. If this 75.15 breaks, I'm gonna get up. Nathan, if you want to look at how I trade options, there are live videos that I take like a year ago. So I use Webull, so you can look at those. That's basically, I'm positioning the same way as I am now. If you want to get a good idea of how I position size with options and what my profit target is. Or my daily goal and all that. I'm starting to worry here. I mean, all these aggressive buys. I mean, it's being supported, right? You can see this 75.12. We are being supported there, but we need to see a move here now. We need to see a move away from the zone. So below 75.12, we might see a push down there. Come on, 75.20. Let's break it. NASDAQ is approaching that 29,000 psychological level and finding resistance. So that is the level to break for NASDAQ. If we can break above 29,000, this is a confirmation for ES here. You can see here we're testing 29,000. Keep an eye on that. If that breaks above, I think we can find some continuation here on ES. We're up about 15 points here on this position. Aggressive buyer stepping in there at 75.20. Right here, you can see on the footprint on the right side, right? 294, 300. It's building up. You need to break here. You need to break this, or this is going to be a trap. We need to break above here, above that 75.20. That's also where your view up is. Hey, Simone. Thanks for seeing. Appreciate it. Come on, 75.20. We're right above it now. Now we just need to see follow throughs. There you go. Let's go, 75.22. Let's break it. I'm gonna exit out at 75. I'm gonna try to exit out at 75.28 to 75.30. There's some passive uh, limit sells there. Here we go, 75.22. My finger is on the sell trigger here right now. Fingers on the sell button. Would like this 75.20 to act as support, which it is right now currently. I'm gonna put my stop at 75.18. Trying to be patient on this trade, guys. I'm really trying to be patient on this trade, but I am out of my option trade. But with this, I'm still long on my live personal and on the prop. I've already moved my stop loss to 75.18. I would like this 75.20 to act as support now. We got 26 likes on the stream, guys. Thank you. That's a new record. Let's go. Now, if we can get that 75.32, that would be dope. Mind you, here we go, guys. Look at the Heatmap. Buyers struggling, right? We're struggling here, and we were seeing these passive sellers, limit sells starting to show up. So it's a little bit of a bearish price action, but again, I already have my stop loss set, right? I would like this 75.20 to act as support. You can also see this on the chart, right? Delta buys, and you're struggling. think as long as 7520 is supported, I think we got more room to the upside. But again, just letting you guys know what I'm seeing. Sellers are trying here, right? They're absorbing those buy orders at this level. They're starting to, and it's acting as a resistance currently. So that's a bearish price action there for now. Okay, I'm out. Realizing that, got out at 75.19. I think that was a good trade, guys, right? Good trade. Saw those absorption at the low. Got multiple retests on that one. And then we got that push up. There's a little bit of a shake and bake right around that 75.12, 75.15. So if you're bearish, right? If you're bearish, this is the type of price action you want to see, right? Inside the supply zone that we mentioned earlier, right? And then guess what? Buyers attempting. And what's happening? Price is stalling. Could not make a new high. That is a bearish price action there. Now, if you're right, if you're looking for a short, that would be your indication there. I also viewed that on the heat map. Gave you guys a heads up, right? So buyers attempting, buyers attempting, buyers attempting, got rejected. And as price was rejecting, what are you seeing? Passive bids or passive offers, limit sells started coming in. So the confirmation for this trade, right, just based on candlestick, pay attention here. You saw those large orders, sell orders at the lows, came in, and you push right up. That's the type of, and if you look at the 1 minute time frame here, so it's cleaner, right? That's what you want to see. Sellers attempting, getting absorbed, pushing right up, right? This was our entry. This was an early entry that we got. You pushed, that was your first confirmation. You got to push up. You got rejected at these key areas at 75.12 to 75.15. Retested that level again, as you can see here. You bounced, right? That's your second confirmation. So it's either you get it at the first bounce here or at the second bounce here. I think this would have been, the second bounce would have been that would have been the A+ confirmation there for an absorption play. And you got that push up, right? So from 7.0, 7.502, that's about what? A 10 to 15 point move. Man, 75.16 bounce, and now you're testing that again. So it's the same setup that I look for on a daily basis. Same setup. Took a lot, but it took a lot of patience, but it paid. And then also the same thing on this for those you guys that short. I think this was the same entry that they saw, right? You guys see those large aggressive buys. I mean, I was mentioning it as price was going here. I didn't take this trade, but some of you guys took the trade. Large aggressive buys followed by a seller. Didn't see a confirmation. You push right down. You bounce off of the prior high. You pushed up, right? And then we kind of saw that 7542 to 7544. There was a buyer there that got stuck, and I said, hey, this might be an entry, and then you push right down ASAP. Didn't really give me an entry there. It was way too fast. But for now, again, if you're starting to reclaim the 7520, 7522, you got room for more upside there, right? Possibly this low volume node. This is where I'm going to initiate a short, right? I think this area would be a good area to look for a short entry. If we still continue to see, a bearish trend. What are your settings for heat map? So for the heat map, there's a video out there. I mean, there's a lot of, I don't want to go over it right now during the stream, but there's a video out there on YouTube. I think I shared it last week, but just search it, right? Motivewave heat map settings, and it should pop up. There's like 2 or 3 videos out there. And for that absorption at the lows, you can also see it here, right? Where was it? Where was it? Right here. Sellers, buyers, buyers. Not clean on the footprint, not very clean, but you can see it on the heat map and on the candlestick chart, just based on big bubbles, big bubble trades. All right, guys. Any other questions before I head out here? I think it was a good session, right? Again, I appreciate you guys being here and tuning in. Um, it just motivates me to do this on a daily basis. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe the channel. And if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I think it's a good place to look at the trade summary that I take or that I post. Right, so there's some trade recaps, and I think it's a good area to kind of review, what we look on a daily basis. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. It's Dad Trader, right? Dad Trader, 2 R's at the end. But other than that, hope you guys have a good one. If you guys are green, please do not be greedy and don't try to force any trades. We had a good session for today, and just go about your day, enjoy your day, and we'll come back at it tomorrow morning. All right. Have a good one, guys. Peace.